everyone. This video was a request from someone, and I think it's a great question. Someone wanted to know how, if you're creating an activity for your students, can you have it so they can maybe click on a letter and use it, and there's still more of that letter for them to use in the future. So I'm going to share how to do that today. It's actually really, really simple and using some of the skills we've already learned. So first on my screen, these are images of letter tiles. So these are an image, and it's really, really simple. So what we're going to do is I'm going to start, this is an activity where I'm going to put the alphabet here for students to build a word and then type it. So I'll add a text box here later. So it's very simple. I'm going to take, we'll start with the letter A, and I'm going to make copies of the letter A. So I'm going to start with 2. So now I have 2 copies. Now we're going to want to have a lot of copies. So the easiest way to do this is to select both of these, and I'm going to go to arrange, and I'm going to go to align. First, I'm going to align it center, and they were already kind of lined up, but just in case they weren't, in case one wasn't on the other one, like this, I can align middle. So now they are exactly on top of each other. Now what I'm going to do, so I have an infinite number, or maybe not an infinite number, but lots of them for students to use, is I'm going to select both of them, and I'm going to copy it and paste, and then I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to align center and align middle, so that way they're on top of each other. And I'm just going to keep doing that. I'm going to select them all, Control C, Control V, and in fact, I don't have to align them every time, but I can do Control C, Control V again, and it's just making lots of copies of that letter. Control C, Control V, until I have what I think will be enough. I'm going to select them all. I'm going to click Align Center, and then Align Middle, and there they are, perfectly stacked on top of each other. So when a student goes to build a word, if they're going to use letter A, they will click on it, and there's still more letter A's for them to use. It's as simple as that. You can do the same thing with shapes as well. So if I wanted my students to be able to select maybe circles to manipulate while they're doing a math problem. So I'm just going to make a circle, and you could make it whatever color you wanted to. If I wanted it to have a border, so maybe it looks like a counter, I could do that. So let's see, I'm going to make, format, border and line. I'm going to make it a little thicker. So there we go. So say these are counters for my students to use. So I'm going to do the same thing, Control C, Control V. And the other way, you can also just line them up that way. But I'm going to make a bunch of copies, and then select them all, and I'm going to arrange them center and middle. And now I have an entire stack of counters. Obviously, those wouldn't be for this activity. So if, say, students were doing a math problem and it was, 2 plus 3, we could also make a stack that are yellow. So say we have, that way they're counters. So if we were doing this and I wanted them to show me their math problem and it's 2 plus 3, they could take 2, 1, 2, and then they could take 3, 1, 2, 3. So basically, when you see activities that do this, what they're doing, they haven't done some magical trick. All they've done is they've just stacked a whole bunch of that image on top of each other, and then you can just pull from it and pull from it and pull from it. So I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions about this, specifically, please feel free to comment. If you have anything else you want to learn about Google Slides, of course, comment, and I will be back tomorrow with another tip. So I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye, friends.